What's going on, people?
Hello.
How you feeling? This is another installment of the film review. Turn your phone down. The film review. Movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to mind. We are the husband and wife team who reviews movies while rolling in the vehicle.
And today we are reviewing the HappyTime Murders.
Well, let them know who we are. I'm Crazy Dee, and that's Tracey. And today, again, we are reviewing
the HappyTime Murders.
Okay, HappyTime Murders. All right, so let's start with, first of all, this is not your mom and pops. That will be just a little bit before us, and then we will be mom and pops.
Hey, Tara.
This is not your mom and pops
Sesame Street or the Muppets.
The Muppets. So we're going to tell you that from the beginning. However, it is a new take on not the Muppets. This would be something different. I would call it Happy Time. You know, these puppets look different. They're in the spirit of, but they do not look like Muppets because Brian Henson, who is
Jim Henson's son,
designed these puppets. So they are different, but at the same time just as effective of getting a story across as the Muppets are, or the Sesame Street character, which the only Muppet from Sesame Street that ever went on was Kermit the Frog. Okay, so
Brian Henson, he produced the film along with Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone.
Right. So A1 to this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through the cast.
They need to know, don't take your children to see this film. This is an adult comedy, rated R.
Yeah, it's an adult comedy. This is not for children.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
We were happy to say that there were no children in the movie theater in the advanced screening last evening. There were no children, so people really took heed to the trailers, and they realized that this is not a children's film. You know. So let's talk about the cast real quick. Who played the lead detective, and tell them the lead detective.
Well, it started Melissa McCarthy, right? And then the lead detective puppet is played by Bill Beretta. And Wilma Rudolph from Saturday Night Live is also in the film.
Yeah, she plays his ever faithful secretary, who makes sure that everything rolls right for him.
She's
hilarious in the film. But we're going to get to breaking down their situations. We want you to know also who else is in the film.
What's his name? Joe McHale from the TV show Talk Soup.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's in it.
Yeah.
As well as veteran actor Leslie David Baker. He's also in it.
Right. Okay, so let's set this premise up.
Right. Elizabeth Banks also. She's also in it.
Let's set this premise up. So the premise opens up with a once police officer who is set in a time where puppets live side by side with human beings, but they are considered second-class citizens, and they are treated as such. You open up meeting the disgraced police officer who is now a private detective, and he's driving, and you see the disrespect that is done to various puppets in the puppet community. Now there's a scene in the film as they introduce you to this situation and get you to the dramatic need of the character, and then the initiating event that sets it all off, which is brilliant. Everything is brilliantly done. The way they open it up and they build this world, and they show you this world that the puppet goes through in the society.
You forget that you're watching. Well, you forget some of the characters in the film are puppets, because there are also human beings acting in the film.
Right.
Also, but the puppets characters are so humanistic, you actually forget that you're looking at a puppet because they take on human qualities.
Yeah, that's right. So there's one scene in the movie where the detective finally stops his busted ride, and he gets out, and there's a puppet on the street. And the puppet, I mean, I have to give this real quick. The puppet is dancing in the middle of the street trying to get change.
Yeah.
But we're not going to tell you what happens to the puppet. But basically, the detective says, you don't have to dance for them anymore.
Right.
And he says, but yes, I do, because that's what puppets do. And so that is the only reference in the whole film that has to do with something that can transfer over to a different subject matter, which we talk about.
Think that there was like a touch of like a social commentary in there.
Yeah, it was a social commentary, but it didn't hit you over the head.
Right.
And it was entertaining. And after you get past that bit where, you know, there's a difference between him, even though he's a disgraced police officer, and that particular puppet that's there dancing, that still, there was still dignity in the puppet, even with what he was doing. So, and that was the only thing, wow, ain't that something? Now the mechanism that holds it up is bouncing around. Ain't that something? Now everything is solid except for the mechanism that holds it. All of a sudden it's gotten loose in the wrist. But anyway, look. So that's the only reference. But other than that, I can happily tell you that there are no bigoted tropes in this film. When you watch this film, it is for pure entertainment, and you will be entertained. And you know, we're looking for those bigoted tropes, and you do not see those bigoted tropes in this film.
You will find yourself laughing, cracking up, and there'll be some scenes where your mouth is like, what? You know, I can't believe they said that or did that. Or
this is not your mother's Muppet movies, because they are not Muppets.
Right.
These are not Muppets. These are HappyTime puppets.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, Brian Henson has his own flavor. He's taken what his father did, where the Muppet movies remain the same and stay within the spirit of what Jim Henson wanted for the Muppets. His son takes the HappyTime puppets and takes them to a total different degree. You will be laughing from the opening, after they set the story up and they get to the initiating event. After that, I mean, you are rolling the whole time throughout the whole film. It is incredible. It is an incredible moment to relieve stress, and you're sitting in there. Everyone was laughing throughout the whole picture. Right. I mean, from beginning to end.
Tiara said, "Can't wait to see it."
Yeah, you have to see. You have to go out this weekend and see this film. This may be the highest rated film that we have rated when we get down to rating the film.
Because it is hilarious.
Hilarious. I mean, every bit of it from beginning to end will have you cracking your sides. You will be like, I can't believe that I see this happening on screen right now from beginning to end. Now, the plot of the film. There's the HappyTime is a television show that went off the air many years ago. I guess about maybe 20 years before it was hot and popping. And you know, like how actors are, they're big at one point, but then they go through that slump.
Right.
And you know, the puppets and the lead female actress that was in this show called HappyTime fall on hard times.
Let's say hi to Mel and TJ.
Hey, what's going on? So they fall on hard times, but there's a clause in the contract that says that they're in for a big payday once it syndicates. No. Wait a minute now. I'm not giving away the film. I'm not giving away the film when it syndicates. However, there's a twist in the film, and then that's the twist where you can't believe what you're seeing on the film.
So that's what the initiating event.
Okay, the initiating event is someone gets murdered. And that is the initiating event. Right. The dramatic need of the character, and all the puppets are to be seen as not second-class citizens, but equal to humans in the piece. Now, let's talk about someone who stands out to me in the film. Rudolph from Saturday Night Live. You know, her mother was
Minnie Riperton.
That's right. She really stands out in this film. Like, you know, in the other films she's in, she's acting opposite, you know, people more as a secondary character in the pieces, right? Though she's a supporting cast member in this particular piece, she is able to more expand her acting because she becomes pivotal within the film as far as helping the main puppet detective. Okay, so she becomes very pivotal in the film, and her range, first of all, it's very hard. You know, it's one thing to look at, you know, let's see Sesame Street. We see Sesame Street all the time. So it's one thing to look at Sesame Street and see how Maria and the other actors acted with the puppet characters on there. Big Bird and all that. That's one thing to see that particular type of acting. But to go on a big budget film where you have to convincing, that's one thing. She is very convincing as who she is in this piece. That's one thing. So we have to give it to her. But her range of being able to emote, her facial expressions in the film, and her look of concern or critical thinking, because you know, in acting, it's not just to say that you're a critical thinker. You can't say it. You have to show it on your face. So just showing that you're a critical thinker takes a lot as an actor, because many people can't do it. They can show that they're a critical thinker, but acting it out is totally different. And it all has to do with face.
And to play against a puppet.
Right. At the same time,
because the scenes with her and Melissa McCarthy were really good. Actually, I would like to see a part 2 to this film, because it's just so, it's off the chain.
It seems like to me it could be something where there's gonna be sequels, maybe even a prequel. Let's show this story before it got to the situation that happened that disgraced him off the police force. So let me tell you, it is a film well worth seeing. You should see this film this weekend. This is the strongest endorsement all summer of a film that we have seen. It's just pure escapism. If you like the Muppets, you're gonna love this film.
And laughing is good for the soul.
That's right. If you like Sesame Street, this is not Sesame Street, but if you liked it, you're gonna love this film. Do not take your children.
Do not
take your children to this film. They will be asking you questions about puppets, the puppets that remind them of puppets that they see on TV or they may see on the reruns of the Muppet Show, and you're not going to be able to answer those questions so easily. So do not take your children to this film, but you go there, and this will be a guilty pleasure for those who grew up with the Muppets and Sesame Street. Well, these are grown puppets doing grown things. So what would you rate the film?
I would give it a 10 because it's hilarious, and it was good to see Wilma Rudolph in the film, along with Melissa McCarthy. You know, so to see a black actress in a film like this was really good, because I'm used to seeing her like on Saturday Night Live, or she'll have like little small parts in other films. So it was good to see her like given a chance to be able to spotlight her talent. And
at this point, she needs to be lead character in multiple films.
Right.
Lead character, not just supporting, or not the friend, but lead character. She needs to be lead character. Now, it's a detective story. It sets up like a detective story within a world of inequality due to puppets and humans. The pacing, great. The story and the twists and turns, just like a true detective story, excellent. Follows the tropes to a T, and then you add in the comedy and the unbelievable things that are happening around there, and I have to give it a 10. It's a 10. It is a 10, and it is something where you can actually sit up and actually enjoy it and not worry about the bigoted tropes that you usually see in film.
What I would like to see is, after seeing this, I would like to see Wilma Rudolph in a film with Tiffany Haddish. That would be hilarious. And then I would also like to see Melissa McCarthy play in the film with Tiffany Haddish also, which would be hilarious. And then Leslie Jones. So, you know, it'd be good to see all of them in the film together. And yeah, so that's the review.
Who carried the film? Out of the characters, out of the human characters and the puppeteers, which character between
like do
McCarthy,
the humans first and then a puppet?
McCarthy and the puppet detective, which one?
Oh yeah, because they were the stars.
Yeah, which
Melissa
one carries?
McCarthy and Bill Beretta.
Yeah, so which one carries the film to you?
She was funny, but that puppet, the lead detective who was her partner in the film, Bill Beretta, he did an excellent job. So she was funny, but I'm sorry, I have to say it was the puppet. The puppet carried the film.
Carried the film. And then if something happens, and then she gets like 1/3, or less than 1/3 of the film.
Right.
And then it finishes up, and they're doing their thing together. But it's definitely they will show you the human stars, but the puppets, and especially him as the detective, carry the film. So it is very enjoyable. And what's so funny about it is, once you get there and you see the setup, you forget, like my wife said, you forget that they are puppets. And the film, it's just an excellent film. 10s all around the board. Make sure you see it. Matter of fact, you might want to go see it again. But so that's it. So the HappyTime Murders must-see movie this weekend.
Definitely that. And before we go, if you don't watch it already, you really need to start watching Queen Sugar. Saw it yesterday. Just had to bring it up.
Let's talk about this season of Queen Sugar real quick. Synopsis. synopsis.
The season was really, really great. And then, see, I don't want to give it away because sometimes people are a season behind. Because
Right.
sometimes I'm a season behind. But all I have to say is this
It
season
addressed
was...
fun.
Oh, well, it really came with fire. I think this season was better than last season, although last season was really good.
Last season was groundbreaking as far as relationship between father and son.
Yeah. But
I really do. And relationship between potential wife.
Right.
For those who haven't seen it, we won't spoil it.
And the writing was good as always.
But this season was able to take a through line of a story about a sacrifice of the meal and showing how all of the various stories came back to that same through line.
Family and as well as the community.
That's right. So Queen Sugar is excellent on OWN.
Right.
And Greenleaf is starting
up. So that's
and so Greenleaf, it's just a great it's a great show too. Right. For those who want to stay away from it because it's based in the church, don't stay away from it. You're going to enjoy it. Like us, we're not stick in the mud people, so we enjoy everything. I enjoy gospel, I enjoy hip hop, R&B, you name it. We're gonna enjoy it up to a certain extent. We're gonna say that.
Yeah.
But so we're not no stick in the mud. But so go watch that. And there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, Black Book TV is on in Las Vegas. Again, I always have to just pat myself on the back because I've done a lot of things, producing films and things, but this is the first time that I become a program director and actually program around the valley. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very so I had to pat myself on the back of it. It's really big, but I stay humble with it. But it's something that we're bringing our images to the screen so people can be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. And we're constantly getting new content providers that are bringing content that is going to be ingested in. And we're working on streaming so that it not only is here in Las Vegas, but going across the globe. So we're working on that. And you can already see my work on Lordlandfilms.com. That's Lordlandfilms.com and Lordlandfilms.com/Lordland TV. We're also on Bop TV, the largest black-owned streaming service. It's like Netflix. It's out of Atlanta, Georgia, and you go right on and you're able to not download, but you're actually able to go there and choose films to watch. And you get that through your Roku
Fire Stick.
So that's about it. That's what we want to say. So we want to thank you for watching another episode of The Film Review, movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to mind. I'm Crazy Dee.
Tracey.
And we will see you next time.